I'll still deal with the puns. I'm watching Twitch chat now, you guys. Throw
Yes.
out your best league puns.
Why can't Sivir win a spelling bee?
She can only spell shield.
These are bad, guys. These are bad, but they're also awesome. I actually have never heard the Sivir one. I've heard the Hazaki one. I've heard that one, and I think I've heard the Garen for Demacia, but the spell shield is pretty awesome too. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 3. We do 3 games every Tuesday. I'm Jay Kelton. This is Salek. You've heard this 1,000 times already. Let's go. Let's go. Keep the jokes coming. Totally okay with that. Start Googling them. If anyone can tell us a zillion of them, we will be very
Draven out.
Draven. I was just like, I
I will be really annoyed.
Oh, slick puns. So.
All right. Speaking of Irelia, banned on the off the side of Team Next Week, along with Master Yi and Team Hasagi, getting rid of Vladimir and Draven.
Yi that Team Next Week thinks that Darius is pretty bad, so they're gonna ban him away as well.
Well, that and they're playing against Delicious Seal, so you know.
Take it away. Don't let him play. But we'll have to see what Delicious Seal picks up this time, because he said, I believe, in all chat of the last game that the Irelia and Darius were his 2 main picks. That's why he switched over to the Aatrox. We'll see if he picks the Aatrox again, or if he goes for something more comfortable. XLNC Nova needs to do a little bit of a happy dance, because we get Graves this time around. He lol XD, picking that one up, which I know that Fox Nova loves the Graves, plays him a lot in normals as he's learning the game. Delicious Seal goes for the Yasuo, so that could be some pretty fancy plays. And I think he's played this before.
He played it last week, and we do have a little clip in the highlight reel. So...
What do you do to a toxic Zyra? Repop them! Why can't Gangplank never play cards? Why?
He's always
You have to
standing
finish
on the
the
deck.
joke.
He's always standing on the deck.
That's pretty awesome.
Rengar locked in for Dragon Rage to the mouth.
We're more invested in the jokes coming in than we are the actual
Swain.
picks. An enemy has been slain. Commander C21. He's very strong, but gonna go jungle as well. So we're gonna get 5-man jungle from Team Next Week. They're gonna burn through the dragons real quick with their 5-man smites. As Wincarnation grabs the Corki, most likely for the mid lane. As Swain is probably a bottom lane carry, because like Vladimir, those ranged AP bruisers are picked up quite often for the bottom lane compositions. We'll find out whether or not that's what they decide to go with. As Alkaline SN, trying to make up from last game, will be picking up for Team Hazagi, a Teemo.
Uh-oh. The hat. The hat comes into play. Do we have that cheer yet? Do we have the hat yet?
The hat yet? No, we've done XLNC Shroom, but I hadn't thought about just using the hat. The Teemo hat as an emote. That would be interesting. Just Teemo hat. That's good. That's actually pretty good. All right, I'm gonna write that down. So Teemo hat as emote.
Oh, that's right. We
2.
did the shroom. We did the shroom. That's what we did.
Well, we aren't through that just yet. It's still being worked on. It's still in pre-production.
Okay.
But I'll let you all know through 1,000 announcements on Discord when that goes through. But I do still kind of want Sealy for Sealy things, because that's kind of becoming a quick meme here. Quick meme. As Wraith is gone, so we no longer have the bike memes. Sad day. Sad day.
Sad day indeed. All right, we've got Vayne and Alistair gone for Team Hasagi, and Team Next Week has gotten rid of Lulu and Morgana, so banning out a couple of those supportive picks. Solid call, however, they did leave Rakan available for Rakan to pick. So that's going to be an easy pick up here. Still sitting on Ignite, so possibly going for that AP Rakan like we had last time. As Sejaces locks in the Thresh.
How do you make a Mordekaiser Chroma? Adjust the wait, or the hue. What was the other one? What do Ramus and Malphite listen to?
Malphite listen to rock and roll.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That Vitrillion? Vitrillion? What? What?
Hi, Vet.
Vet is
Welcome.
king around here. He is a superstar as well. Eventually, I'll get my superstar list going. Vet's one of them. Doesn't get to play very often anymore, but pretty awesome. As Enzler picks up Leona, the queen of the blinding light, coming in from there. So let's go ahead and roll through the players and their champions to be keeping you distracted by the awesome chat that is rocking and rolling. Team next week, we've got Hui Lord, or Hee Hee Lol, taking the Graves in the jungle. Commander C2121 with the Swain in the top lane. Wind Carnation and the Corki in the mid lane. Jace's with the bottom lane supportive Thresh. What? And Tigers Nova Kaisa, bottom lane 80 carry role.
Meanwhile, I have no idea what Team Hisagi is doing. Delicious Seal probably going into the top lane with that Yasuo. Dragon Mage to the mouth, possibly going, looks like it might be actually a bottom lane Rengar to go with that Rakan, piloted by Rakan. Alkaline SN taking Teemo into the jungle, which would leave Enzlor's Leona in mid lane, which feels weird, but also could be really effective if played into the right champion.
Or maybe an AP mid lane Rakan.
Possibly AP mid lane Rakan. They did switch Summoner over, so there's 3 Ignites on the side of Team Hisagi. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what Team Hisagi does here, because it looks like they may... actually, that might be a Leona mid going for a funnel strategy onto the Teemo.
Oh, is it? Is it the funnel strat? We've seen it before in pro play. If many of you probably heard 1,000 times before, but I'll explain extremely briefly. Funnel strat is not that complicated, guys. It's literally bottom lane, but for the whole map. In the bottom lane, you take a person who doesn't get any farm, and you give all the farm over to the AD carry, right? Well, funnel strat's basically that for the mid laner, and they just farm everything. They farm the jungle, they farm mid lane, they farm the jungle, they farm bottom lane, they farm champions, they farm top lane, they just farm everything. So you try to get as much gold as you can onto one person, funnel strat completed. All right, so across the map, or across the current play, so Jace is on this Thresh, playing normal support. We'll see if he goes the ADC route, but I highly doubt it. Probably actually trying to play a bit more of what you would normally consider to be this Thresh in the composition from Team Next Week. Pretty normal, other than the Corki. A little bit of an off pick for that, but we still see Corki in the mid lane before plays a bit of an AP burster. Team Hagasi is the one that's more fun, though. They could really just be doing so much stuff.
I really like the pick of Rakan, though, to go with the Yasuo. Delicious Seal. Rakan can set up so many last breaths for Delicious Seal, especially if you can layer the CC on top of it. Think about it. You get the Leona stun in there into Rakan knocking them up with the grand entrance into Delicious Seal, chaining it with the last breath, and then Dragon Rage to the mouth just comes in and cleans house. And that's not even taking into account that you've got a Teemo blinding you and poisoning you that entire fight.
I also have to note the fact that it is Briar or Dragon Rage to the mouth, the superstar player, one of them superstar players playing in this game, Delicious Seal being another one, that he didn't pick up the Gragas. Had the opportunity to play the Gragas, it wasn't banned against him, and instead decided to go with a comfort pick of the Rengar. He is well known on these assassins, Rengar and Lee Sin. That's actually where he got the name, Dragon Rage to the mouth, from, is so good on those assassinations. But there aren't that many squishy members for Team Next Week. Corki, Kaisa, both possible. Thresh is going to be really nice for flaying Rengar out of one of his leaps. Swain should be able to just tank it up, snare the Rengar, pull him in with the never move. The one I'm interested in seeing is this Graves in the jungle. How can he deal with the Rengar, or really the Yasuo especially, because of that wind wall? There's so many ranged things from Team Next Week that Yasuo can block, so keep an eye on Delicious Seal and when he decides to use that wind wall.
Yeah, and if he can use it effectively and keep his team behind it during a major team fight, possibly even negating something like the Void Seeker coming out of Kaisa to prevent Kaisa from being able to dive the backline and split the fight, that could be something that turns the fight around in favor, or just maintains control of a fight for Team Hisagi, because they do have a bit more ability to just stay confirmed, stay in. And keep doing damage, whereas it's a lot of hit and run on the side of Team Next Week.
We'll see if they can manage that. The other thing I want to watch is Corki, can he get some of these roams down? We know that when he picks up that package, he can move across the map at extreme speeds, and Wincarnation is no slouch, which I do recognize now. Hasagi banned away the Alistar from Wincarnation, his duo with TSM Double Lift, who's currently playing Fortnite. What? Is unprecedented in the bottom lane. Instead, we get to see him in the mid lane this time. Can he get those roams down? As the mid laner, probably Rakan from Hasagi, should be able to roam just as heavily.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Now, although the thing that we're not taking into account talking about Rakan's roams is if they are doing a funnel onto Alkaline SN's Teemo, then Rakan is going to be sitting there holding the farm rather than roaming. So that's what we need to be watching out for. Now, if Rakan does manage to get a roam in there, his dashes and his mobility are going to make it very nice and very easy for him to set up multiple things for the rest of his team, including if he takes a couple trips up north to Delicious Seal's top lane up against the presumed Swain there.
Indeed, and I'm interested in seeing how the Yasuo and Swain go down the 1v1 up there. But before we get into that, I want to ask, if you had to predict a team to win, give me your best shot. What team will take it?
I've been hyping up Team Hasagi this whole time, but I think they will come away with a loss this game. Team Next Week has a couple of tanks that will be able to not only weather away some damage, but particularly the Swain will be able to steal health away from the members of Team Hasagi, and so I think that might be what turns the fight, is Swain managing to stay alive just a little bit longer than Enzalor, and possibly Dragon Rage to the mouth if he goes for the tank build on this Rengar.
It's a big question because Hasagi has a jungle Teemo. And Teemo versus Graves in the jungle, if Hasagi is not using the funnel strategy, Graves is an extremely good duelist, and even more so is great against squishy champions in the jungle. So he should be able to blow Teemo up anytime he sees them. Teemo Shroom's going to be pretty effective from the jungle. Basically, you just control your entire side of the map, and then you start feeding those Shrooms slowly but surely into the enemy's side. And maybe Hasagi is calling upon XLNC Shroom 2020 to give themselves the win, as we do get our first invade of the night, Team Next Week, crawling their way onto the side of Hasagi, but there's no one in here. They're finally going to walk around the corner and find Enzalor. Will they go all in? Thrashoka is landing! Oh, pixels away! Enzalor flashes the wall, should be able to live, but dang, Jace is with a death sentence that was just pixel perfect.
Might come around the corner here, does find Dragon Rage, misses.
Should have saved it, because you were looking so high, we were hyping you up, and then you missed your second hook. All right, whatever.
Man.
Whatever. Now no one cares.
That was a hook. Holy cow, right at the end of the range there.
All right, we got a little hotness going on in the chat. Some people voting for Hasagi is what Vetrillion votes. Zeno is voting for Next Week. We'll have to see what that breaks down to. As
do we have a way to put that up? Like actually put a poll up?
I used to, but then I took it down because the rest of the things that it brought was very annoying. However, I can bring polls back if people are interested in doing that. I do need to have one for DragonCon. That's the main thing. I'm going to be shoutcasting a tournament at DragonCon coming up in just another 2 months. And having a poll for the teams would be fun for that. What I found is, though, most of the time on the stream right now, we only get 1 or 2 votes anyway, so you can count them up solo. As at this point, Next Week's got 3 votes to 2, so we'll see how they come down with it. I think one of the things that is going to be critical is that Teemo on the side of Hasagi, because Teemo can be very useless if he gets behind. Wait, we've got a little bit of a skirmish here. He's waiting in the jungle right next to the Graves. He does have his red buff. Ran in here right next to the blue buff. Can he lull get through this in the top lane? A little bit more skirmish.
He does have his smite up.
Oh! He smited too early. Alkaline SN smites too early, and now Graves wants to find him. He has been blinded, but he's got the burn stacks of the red buff. Gonna just be able to shoot the Teemo down. I don't think blind's gonna be available. Forces the flash with the quick draws there, and one more auto attack. Despite being blind, the Teemo left comes out in the bottom lane. Thresh being able to flay 2 members towards the tower. The exhaust is down into Rengar. Dragon Rage forced to jump away. He jumps right back in onto Tiger's Nova, hopping all over. Enzalor throws out the Zenith Blade, only finds Sejaces on this Thresh. He flashes forward. It's a beautiful death sentence that will guarantee a kill to himself, getting that in the bottom lane. So far 3-0. Team next week feeling really good. In the top lane, the action continues. Delicious Seal wind walls opposite direction, just dashing through. Minions double knockup with a nice tornado. Trying to get through, is slowed, flashes away. Going where auto attack takes down Commander C. Delicious Seal doing sealing things on the Yasuo, trying to outplay against the Graves in the top lane. He's so low health, but doesn't even matter. In the bottom lane, Kai'Sa with a quick kill. The flash forward from Delicious Seal. He's underneath the turret. He outplays himself, and he LXD gets the trade of kills in the top lane.
Oh, like you said, outplayed himself there, dove back under the tower and went before the minions, and so he took the tower shot there that he could not afford to take. If he had gotten a couple of extra dashes or even had a minion under the tower already, he would have been able to get up there and actually take away, kill Heal LXD before going down himself, but unfortunately he just entered in just a little bit too early and lost his life as a result.
Oh, wait, we've got a third vote from Rezdra saying Hasagi will win, so it is currently even. We'll have to see which team can take it all the way to the end. If I can spell which correctly. It is the Rakan in roaming towards the mid lane? Okay. No, it is just Rakan mid lane. That's what I was saying earlier.
Rakan's
and he
in mid,
gets the AP kill onto the Graves. Should be traded back as Wincarnation going to find him. The help of Thresh coming up from the bottom lane as well to get that win. 6 kills to 2. Next week off to a good start, but can Delicious Seal 1v5 once again?
That's what it's looking like it's going to have to come down to. He's got his team has given up 6 kills so far, and he and Rakan have the only 2 kills as of this point.
Oh, Tiger's Nova in trouble. They're trying to tank out the bottom turret, but one more shot from the tower might be enough to finish off Enzalor. Tiger's Nova gets the outplay, and that's going to be Rengar going down as well. Double kill to the Kai'Sa. Tiger's Nova playing explosively in the bottom lane.
You cannot dive the Kai'Sa this early on in the game. Kai'Sa is simply too mobile, and B, you are not high. You don't have enough defenses right now to really take that dive and walk away. If you have more members there, you might be able to juggle the tower aggro well enough to get away. But with just 2 members, you do not have the ability to juggle that aggro well enough to take on that dive.
And it's not an Alistar, it's a Leona. She takes a while to get truly tanky. She's only sitting on 1 item, that's Targon's Brace, after a second back. So it's not really benefiting you that much. As Wincarnation going to burst out the Teemo, speeds himself up, trying to get away, but it's a red buff on this. Corki, blind is good. Flashing forward past the knockup Grand entrance from Rakan, who's trying to keep his Teemo alive, and that will be Alkaline falling. AP Rakan, not enough to keep the Teemo up, but Wincarnation poked down to half, so he's going to have to play a little defensively.
Yeah, he'll have to stay back a little bit. Of course, he does have Heal LXD around the corner, possibly waiting to come in, and no, he's moving down towards the Drake in order to take that, knowing that the enemy Teemo has just fallen.
The dive would have been way clean, but I don't think they coordinated. It looked like Lola went for it before Rengar was ready. As a result, he didn't have the reaction time he should have, says Vet, our side analyst. Members of Team Next Week coming together to grab the Wind Drake for themselves. They're grabbing it now instead of next week, but you know, it's beneficial either way. The breeze will blow you into next week as they are stacking up to be 3,000 gold in the lead. Can they keep it up? 3-0 on the Corki, 3-1 on the Kai'Sa, 2-1 on the Graves.
The only question is, can Commander C2121 on the swing keep Delicious Seal
engaging on
under
Sejaces,
control?
he's gone. Takes out the Thresh. Dragon Rage continuing to hop out, but just to the minions. Waiting around the corner, waiting for Enzalor to engage. Tiger's Nova chunked out a little bit. But Kai'Sa does a surprising amount of burst damage even in these early levels. Doesn't have level 6 yet, so no ultimates available for him. Graves is here. He's got his ultimate. Can the collateral damage be enough? It looks like Hasagi's bottom lane will just back underneath their turret.
Yeah, just walk out of that. Nothing too crazy, especially since he Heal LXD didn't really have much in terms of CC to lock them down in that situation, having used the smoke screen immediately upon entering the lane.
Oh, Rakan typing to his team is caught out, hanging out underneath the turret. What?
That might be a disconnect there. That looked a little bit too much, especially with if he'd been typing.
I'm not sure. Maybe Alt-Tab typing in the chat in the stream chat. I don't think he said anything in the stream chat, but we'll see. Even better for the vet. I like it. As, hey, Lord Reeves shows up for Game 3. Always on time for Game 3. I love it. Alkaline SN in trouble. Has the blind to Grace, but just the collateral damage to finish him off. As it is now 3-1. Doesn't even have boots yet. A beautiful death sentence with the flay. Jace's is a monster on this Thresh. We saw Xeno last game with the ADC Thresh. So Jace says, I can do you one better and play an immaculate support as he low flashes forward, getting the slow onto the Rengar. He's trying to run away, but the thumbs up before the finish. Team next week continues to just dominate this game.
Yeah, 13-4, almost 4,000 gold ahead. They're looking like not even Sealy things would be able to put the stop to this.
Ooh, Windwall doesn't stop the harass from Swain, though. Teemo is level 4. This is what I'm talking about when you have a useless Teemo, in that you just can't do much to try to defend and stop. Once the enemy team gets rolling, once you're squishy, how do you come back as such a squishy Teemo? Rakan head towards the top lane. This is an AP Rakan, remember, so he's got damage. Immediately the last breath, grand entrance, setting that up. The Rakan is going to take a bit of poke, but get out before the tower finishes him off. Alkaline chasing the Graves out. Did not smite away the blue buff. Graves still got that. Yeah, he still got the blue buff. So he's lost 2 blue buffs so far, just mistiming the smites on it.
And not only that, but he got pushed. He walked out. Graves managed to walk out from 3 members who came in to try and put a stop to him. Alkaline having a really rough game on this jungle Teemo, and we see mid lane tier 1 going down as the first tower of the game. Or I'm sorry, second tower of the game. Sealy got it. Sealy got it. I'm sorry.
Sealy has given his name back to himself by getting the top lane turret. It may not be the 5-0 Darius that we usually have grown a little accustomed to, but will be able to get first turret for himself. There's the ultimate from the Kai'Sa going in, looking for the Rengar. Leona on the run, level 6, hasn't used the ultimate has used the ultimate, but it's not enough defensive. Tiger's Nova very low, Ignite ticking away. He low, trying to get the last of the shots down, will fall, but Tiger's Nova is ready for a double kill, and the rockets to finish Leona off will clean up what was a massive 2v2, end up getting a double kill in the bottom lane.
Easy cleanup there from Tiger. Well, not easy. It was definitely a work to get it started, but easy cleanup once the fight was actually over. As 2 low members makes where you just move in as Kai'Sa and hit that W to throw out those missiles and make sure that they're in range. So clean kills, and Tiger's Nova's healing back up pretty well from that fight already, given the additional healing as Wincarnation coming on top lane against Seal.
Yeah, delicious Seal toast at the wind wall, but it's really early on, trying to dash back to the minions to escape. Wincarnation is here, though. Can just avoid all the damage. He's hopping, he's dashing, he's just going to run to his own death. Doesn't have wind wall ready and available yet. There is no turret, but he's still going to fall in the bottom lane. The Rengar hopped in, I think, a little bit too aggressively onto Tiger's Nova and falls as well in the river. Once again, Rakan in trouble. Goes and Charm knock up. And we'll just run his way to safety.
Yeah, good job using the speed boost from the quickness to get out of that situation, having seen Swain coming in for the backup. And they're now giving some farm over to... Oh, that's a problem.
Yeah, Enzalor just getting a stun onto Graves. Graves is pretty aggressive, but Leona started to get a little bit tanky. Throws down the ultimate for the stun as well, but the Thresh helping to deal the last bit of damage. Rakan burned away with the Ignite from Corki in the mid lane. Not exactly sure how that one went down. If you want to back up, and we'll check it out on the instant replay. In the meantime, though, there's still aggressive plays in the bottom lane. Graves falls as Rengar shows up. Trade of kills. Teemo has fallen as well, so Jace is running away. But that is that Kai'Sa halting in. Massive rocket damage onto the Rengar. Corki can't get over the wall. It still doesn't matter. Tiger's Nova takes the kill. In the top lane, the Yasuo fighting 1v1 against Swain once again, throws down the ultimate, dealing a bit of burst damage, but he's able to escape under this turret and live once more. All right, ready for the play. Go ahead.
All right, going back to Rakan dying in the mid lane. Step too far forward just a little bit. Wind Incarnation hits level 10 here and just goes in, uses the Valkyrie along with the missile in there, applies the ignite, and as Rakan's walking away, does manage to go down. A little unfortunate for Rakan, as I believe that was his flash used after the ignite was already down on him, and therefore kind of a wasted flash, as he would have died either way.
Delicious Seal, in the meantime, went in trying to finish off the Swain, but a really good placed E in combination with a flash slowed the Yasuo down. He had nothing to dash through as well to try to catch up, and so Swain, with a nice bit of, playing it right, able to escape Yasuo, chunking him down in the top lane. But the turret's already gone, so Yasuo just going to back and try to take his 107 farm, over 30 farm, to a different lane and help somebody else out, as the rest of his team are having a very rough game. 114 farm the Corki to the 50 of the Rakan. Next week, getting their second Drake of the game, this time an Ocean, which means they're going to be able to sustain and fight even better.
Yeah, they've got additional sustain here, and the next Drake is going to be another Ocean Drake coming into play. So we're not getting those high priority Drakes, but next week is doing a good job of capitalizing on the opportunities that they do have in order to capture these additional buffs that are available to them.
Everyone's saying that it's over for Hasagi, but do not count any team out. Somebody else commented that it's the games tonight have been pretty one-sided. What I wanted to note on that was that hang on a second, as Rengar using the ult comes in the mid lane, finds Lull, gets the snare. Rakan goes in, nice knock-up as well as quickness charm. That should be their graves going down. The wombo combo from Hasagi, enough to take one down. Kaisa and Corki here, Incarnation willing to push them out. But if you actually looked at ranked stats between these two teams, Hasagi should have had it. Between the players' normal stats as well as Dragon Rage to the Mouse previous year's stats, they had the higher statted team value. But next week team is the one that's currently winning, as a nice last breath from Delicious Seal may be able to take Commander C down. He's slowly healing. Oh, beautiful wind wall to stop some of the healing going down. He takes out Swain in a 1v1 in the mid lane. This CC on Corki's enough. They take him out as well. Hasagi are starting to turn some of these fights around. They're still down 5,000 gold. Teemo, okay, yep. Teemo trying.
I'm actually kind of curious to see how they knew Teemo was there. I assume they had that ward in place already when Teemo went invisible, and so it was a simple matter of walking down there and firing the Void Seeker through the brush in order to find him in his exact location.
As the comments are saying, late game, the Team Hasagi may be able to take it, but they have to get to 6 items. They have to survive that long. Delicious Seal, the hope for the team. It always happens with Seal's teams. How does that happen? The Delicious Seal, almost every team that he's on, generally does mediocre to poor, and yet he just does Sealy things. Anyway, can he keep his team alive long enough to get to the 6 items? We'll have to find out. Okay.
Yeah, that's the key, is can they make it to that point?
Oh, Corki using the satchel just to be able to get out of harm's way. Walked into a Rakan and Leona. They've got plenty of CC to lock you up for as long as they want to. But they're just going to go back to defending the mid lane. Rift Herald has been taken and spawned. Moving in towards the top lane, several members of next week. This might be all 5 going up there in just a minute. As Rift Herald just going to walk straight into the turret. That's a slam. Should be able to clean it up as Yasuo rooted and bursted. And the collateral damage puts him extremely low. He has yet to fall. Swain does finish him off, though. Around the corner, Rakan and Enslow are doing what they can, but it's still a 2v5. Enslow are going to fall first. Tower already down. Rift Herald pushing on to the second one. There's not much that Hasagi can stop this 5-man push. They've got Team pushing in the mid lane, Rengar pushing in the bottom lane, but it's all 5 pushing top lane with a Rift Herald. This is going to be an inhibitor gone at the least.
Yeah, especially since Rengar and Teemo are not even trying to contest this. They're pushing the other lanes, getting some global gold for their team. And as a result, they are going to sacrifice that inhibitor. And they could lose more if they don't turn around. If they don't base right now, this could be they've got a lot of minions here. This could be a pretty serious push here.
Well, the question is, doesn't next week just move right along? It's now 5v3 as the Leona and the Yasuo have shown back up. Rift Herald gets a slam onto the Nexus turret. It's going to follow as well. Rakan goes in. Graves is going to be bursted out. They finally have picked up one. Teemo and Rengar both recalling now, so they'll finally get back to the base. It is now a 5v4 with all the members here. So Jace is flaying Enzalor back into the team. Rengar here trying to get on. The Thresh falls. Could this be an ace for Hasagi getting all the shutdown gold? Tigers Nova in trouble. Uses the ult to get to the other side of Rakan. Commander C blinded up, will fall. The 1v1 in the top lane. Last breath from Yasuo across the side of the screen. And it's a 5-man ace for Hasagi. But they have lost everything in the top side.
Really interesting there. It looked to me like Delicious Seal actually held the last breath until right before, yeah. Okay, so going back here to pull it up as this fight starts, we see the back completing for Rengar and the back completing here. Rakan decides to go in, and they get the early pick onto Graves. Graves goes down, and that gives them the opportunity to keep this fight going now that they have all 5 members back. So Jace just runs in and ends up getting bursted by the remaining members of team blah. Now, what I wanted to point out here is that Tigers Nova goes up to the top side here and does get knocked up, and right as Tigers Nova is about to hit the ground is when Delicious Seal does use that last breath. So it's very curious to note that on my replay here, this inhibitor actually has a little bit of health left, but it's actually dead. Just as a note for everyone.
Spectator bug, but that is quite all right. Team blah, 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 blah. I like it. Alkaline SN forced to flash away, trying to escape. Most of the buffs were just being cleaned up in the jungle, trying to get warded out from Hasagi, but the Teemo still falls, and the jungle from the side of next week may fall, which makes things even more interesting, because if either team tries to go for a Baron, neither has the jungle. Yasuo pushing out the bottom side. Looks like the Kai'Sa will not use her ultimate to try to chase in on these two. They do get back to their turret safely. Yasuo 1v the world at this point as he's down here by himself. If the members of next week, though, slowly funnel in, he could try to outplay a bunch of them. He's got the recall going already. So
oh my word!
Commander C does outplay, Dragon Rage outplays Commander C, grabs the kill, 1v1. Rengar finally starting to come online. 6, 6, and 3 has the Hydras as well as the call for a little extra damage. I was putting Rengar in the jungle only to realize and remember that he actually is a bottom laner. It's the Teemo that is the jungler. As the third Drake goes over to next week, a second Ocean for themselves.
The second Ocean for them. Next Drake that's going to go up is going to be another Cloud Drake, so it's going to be stacking on the buffs that already exist rather than adding another one to the game. If you're looking at it, though, this has been a slow climb back for Team Hasagi. They're starting to hit that point we were talking about where they do actually become a bit of a threat as they pick off Hilo XD.
Oh, beautiful CC chain with Leona. Zenith Blade just around the corner, ready to time that up with the Graves as well. Needs to knock him out of Commander C. He's extremely low. He flashes, he stays alive. Starts the ultimate as well. Thresh is in, slowing everybody down. Enzalor trying to get what he can on the bottom side. Forced to flash over the wall. Rakan trying to escape. Will be bursted out. And next week, with their grouping power and the AoE of Wincarnation and Tigers Nova, destroy and take not only 3 members, but the middle inhibitor on, or middle second tier turret as well. And moving on to the inhibitor should be able to take that up just fine.
Yeah, especially with only Delicious Seal and Alkaline here to defend, they're not going to be able to contest this, and they have to just give up this inhibitor. And that was a really botched re-engage on the part of Team blah blah blah. I guess that's what I'm calling them right now.
There you go, Team blah,
Hasagi.
Blah.
There we go. Really botched re-engaged by Team Hasagi in that they went into a 3v4 situation without Yasuo there. They have to keep Yasuo nearby whenever they're going into this, because while Rengar does have more kills, Yasuo's farm makes up for that difference and makes him to where he is actually one of the more fed members of that team.
Fancy move for Commander C to get everyone into the Dragon Pit, Baron Pit, I apologize. Graves around the corner. So he does have Smite available and could try to steal it away. Teemo on the bottom side, so there's no being able to engage on that. Rakan goes in, last breath on 2, but it's not going to be nearly enough. They get this Jace's Delicious Seal going to fall, but it's a 1-for-2 trade. And Baron over to the side of next week, and they are feeling confident they've got what they need. Double inhibitors down, chasing in onto the Rengar, should be able to speed his way to safety. Enzlor, the one in trouble now, red buff ticking away onto Hee Lol, so they try to turn it around. They get the ult, and Graves walks a bit too far forward, gives his own life over. Rengar speeding his way back out, and so they do get one in trade. Still looking bad for Hasagi. Top inhibitor has respawned.
Oh,
yep.
The package forward from Wincarnation to pick up the kill.
So they just grab it and head towards the base of Hasagi. Wincarnation clearing out those minions. The top inhibitor very low, but no one quite ready to go and try to re-clean that one up. Bottom wave is pushing out for Hasagi. That's the one wave they've consistently been able to hold. But oh my gosh, this siege minion just blasts the Nexus turret, the only one left alive, down to half health, as it is only 23 minutes into the game.
Yeah, and what's worse is that there were 2 supers coming in on that last wave, and here we go, Wincarnation, Tigers, Nova, and Sejace is walking in this last group. The minions got distracted, though, and don't go after the tower.
Oh, Tigers Nova goes in trying to finish off Alkaline SN, but not quite going to find it. Enzlor forcing the flash and her to move to the other side. Top inhibitor will fall. This is the last defense from Hasagi. Rakan very low, forced it back underneath the fountain. Rengar to the backside, trying to take out Tigers. Nova ignites taking away, but it's not enough. Last breath, only on 2, but it's still not the carry that you want on the Kai'Sa. And Swain going to get a triple kill. Wants the Rakan as well. Wincarnation taking away the opportunity for a pentakill from the Swain. Rakan just walking in circles around the base. That's a flash onto the fountain. Tries to stay alive, but the ace for Wincarnation. And Team Next Week blows them into next week with an explosive game victory for Blue Side.
That was a bit of a hot mess. It started to pull back for Hasagi there for just a little bit. They had a nice little string here where they took 8 kills to 1, and then it turned back around, and in a very aggressive, very quick fashion, Team Next Week, as you said, just blasted them.
All right, so let's go ahead and roll through the MVPs and honorable mentions for game number 3.
All right, for the losing side, Team Hasagi, we are going to go ahead and give the honorable mention over to Dragon Rage to the mouth. While it was a bit of a rough start in that bottom lane, going up into Tigers, Nova, and Sejace's, did a good job of just getting the farm that was available and making sure that Dragon Rage was still relevant in the late game. And once they got around and started getting online, as we saw, started putting out some pretty massive damage and actually putting Commander C2121, the tankiest member of Team Next Week, into the dirt a couple times, and made it to where they actually had a bit of a chance there in the mid game to possibly create something and start a comeback. Unfortunately, it was not meant to be. Now, the MVP of this game, actually, swap that. Dragon Rage MVP. And I'm going to give the honorable mention over to Rakan. Mid lane Rakan is not something that I particularly like, but it was played very well by Rakan here, making sure that the engages landed. There were a couple instances where those cross the screen engages that Rakan as a champion is known for were executed very well, and he was able to jump in, get the knock-up, which set up Delicious Seal for a lot of different plays. Unfortunately, it was a lot of setbacks early on that resulted in this team not being able to come together in the mid game, which would have been their strongest point. Once Yasuo hit that 2-item spike was when they really wanted to be ready to go and pop off, and it just wasn't there. It wasn't on the table for them at that point where it needed to be.
Indeed. For the winning team, honorable mention going to go over to Tigers Nova, and the reason for that is fairly simple. Not just the kill stat line and only 2 deaths on a squishy Kai'Sa. But one of the things that's scary about Kai'Sa is when you are in the middle of a team fight, you have to trust your team to do their job. You have to trust your team to either tank for you or support you or shield you, and Sejaces is a god on those hooks, a god on those shields. Incredibly strong Thresh. This is a guy to watch for next time he comes back and plays on the stream, and keep an eye on those champions that he picks up. And I should start recording who these guys play, because these things are really important. I've been removed from the party. No, I can't be removed from the party. But Tigers Nova played confidently.
I was
and
from the party.
I'm not exactly sure why. I'm not even concerned.
Oh,
about
it's because okay. I see why. I see what happened.
Okay. The music is a bit loud. I apologize. I can fix that. I can. It is a bit loud. I try to keep it at the negative 40 decibel mark, and it was a bit above that. It was about this negative 60, so or negative 20. So I apologize. MVP over to the side of Wincarnation. I mean, not really too much of a surprise. Played an immaculate mid lane. He was against somebody who was a lot lower level, but took the advantages, roamed to the top side, roamed to the bottom side, and this was more of an AD poke Corki. So you can see there picking up those BF swords in addition to the rapid fire cannon. But of course, started what you usually do at that Trinity Force. 14, 2, and 8. Great KDA stat line. So overall, fantastic job. Thank you for the people that did follow tonight. The Mummy 123, Callus Mofferalis, Astria, it's me, Mina. There's so many guys that you guys have followed. I appreciate it a lot, and of course the dozens and dozens of bits cheered. I think I should actually go through. If you give me 2 seconds, I'm going to count up all of these and see who won the bit war.
I think Nova won it because Nova was at 300 earlier, and Nova is at 400 now, and Sejaces is only at 85. So I think Nova took it tonight.
But he didn't donate that much. He's donated a bunch before. So,
okay.
I'm doing this incorrectly. All right, so Fox Nova did 20, and then 39, so that's 59. And then 44, so that's 103. This is quick mental math, guys. Quick mental math. And then 21 is going to be 124 for Nova. All right, well, never mind. 155 for Nova. I think he went. Yeah, he's got it. 32, 41, and 2 is not.
And Nova added more just to ensure victory there.
Just to ensure victory, guarantees it. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, guys, for playing tonight, coming out and hanging out. Again, we do this every Tuesday night, 3 games, and there's the opportunity that maybe in the near future we can do more games on Thursdays as well. We're just playing with some ideas. Also, if you are in the southeastern side and have the opportunity to come to Dragon Con, would love to see you there, shoutcasting the tournament, getting a lot more of those things set up right now, as Lord Reeves donates 100 bits, because he's like, I can just pwn you all. It's not the quantity, but the quality, says the Jason. This is true. And then lastly, I am looking at DreamHack Atlanta in November for potentially opportunities there as well. So we're going to keep things spicy, guys. We're going to keep things spicy as we continue to grow. There's always more things down the line. And if you hang out throughout the week, you'll be able to play some games with us. We play a lot of Earth right now. Myself, Social, Zeno, and Viti are always on playing a lot of Earth. And so come join us. And if you play Factorio, you should hang out too. So thank you all.
Yeah, Factorio is a thing.
Anything else, Salic, other than being awesome?